A very good afternoon. It is another day, and that's a Thursday afternoon where we come here to give you most exciting stories and also take time to also analyze and give you depth into some of these stories as they happen around town. And I know in the FCT, a lot of competition, particularly grassroots sports where we pay attention to, are also taking place. And outside the FCT, nationally and also internationally, a lot of competition and challenges are also taking place. And Trust Capital Sports will be able to get you some of these stories to share with you, and also bring someone here who understands the sports very well to also give us analysis beyond just what we read on papers or what we hear around town. Well, I remain Abdullah Hajia on the driving seat, and like I said, this is Capital Sports from the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Well, it is that time when we'll be going on a very short break, and when we return, we'll be telling you what we have on our menu today. And I know we're happy with our under-20 team, the Flying Eagles, who have qualified, and not only qualifying for the finals but also booked tickets of the Egypt 2023. And I think that one is good for us to hear. And NFF has also given us the Super Eagles, I want to say, coach. And these are some of the issues that when we come back, we'll be talking on Capital Sports today. So stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned. Well, right away, I must tell you that we have so much, and we'll be attempting to discuss. And Badi Adeleye, the maestro himself, is here to join us in the talking point. But before Badi comes on, I want to also let you know that we shall be taking time also to look at the decision of the federal government to withdraw some of its national teams in international participation as far as the basketball is concerned, where the issue of the leadership has failed, or the stakeholders have failed, I mean to say, to be able to resolve amicably some of the contending issues and to move our basketball forward. But that will be later, much later. This program, I will always assure you that it is meant for you. And when the lines are open, we'll be expecting you to call in to also let us know how you feel in some of these issues. And we shall be sharing with you in the course of the discussion what the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, told Nigerians concerning the issue of the Basketball Federation saga. But now let me welcome Badi Adeleye. Badi, you're welcome to Capital Sports.
Abdullah, it's always beautiful to be here.
Why are you smiling? Is Manchester United qualifying for top 6?
Maybe some positives out of negatives we've seen so far. So it's beautiful to know that the Nigeria Women's Football League Premiership, they're having their Super 6. And of course, so we can celebrate that. Almost Nigerian boys, 3 of them, Basi, Aribo, and Leon Balogun, they were very close to lifting the Europa League trophy yesterday, but very unfortunate. That's football for you. You win some, you lose some. All
right, stop. Thank you very much, Badi, on that opening remarks. Now, quickly, let's see if our sports brief is ready, so that it's waters are the ground for us before we come back and continue the discussion.
The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has tasked the Nigerian Volleyball Federation to put up structures that will enable grassroots development of the game so as to ensure its growth and upward trajectory. Sunday Dare further urged the Federation to commit to developing more interest in the game in schools and colleges to ensure Nigerians stand out in the sport. Now to Scrabble. Nigeria's Etta Karo has emerged winner of the West African Scrabble Championship, which took place in Accra, Ghana. Cairo won 21 of the 28 games it participated in and amassed a total number of 1,357 points to grab the top prize of the tournament. The former national champion, fondly referred to as the Malaysian Prince, is now ranked the number 1 player in the sub-region. Now to soccer. The management team of Ikorodu City FC has placed the entire technical staff of the club, the general manager, coaches, backroom staff, on a 3-match ultimatum to stem the tides. The club started the second half of the 2022 Nigerian National League season with a draw against Campus FC in Lagos, losing 2 points and taking the club closer to relegation on the table. Still talking soccer. Abuja-based club Nigeria Tel suffered a huge defeat in the hands of Bayelsa Queens at the Samuel Bamudia Stadium in Benin, Edo State. This resulted in sending down Retes club to the bottom of the table with no point at all in 2 matches in the 2022 Nigerian Women Football League. With Sports Brief, Miriam Amadi, NT News.
Thank you very much, Miriam, with those wonderful highlights. Now, Badia Dele, quickly, I think she just highlighted some of the issues which we have on our menu, talking about the West African Scrabble Championship. I think there's good news away from football. I think this one area we've always emphasized the issue of taking advantage of, is a comparative advantage of some of these sports that probably you are sure could give you medals when you go, for international competition. But I wouldn't want us to start, from that. I think let's start from the under-20 team, the Flying Eagles. I think this, very sweet news for us because it was a serious test for our boys, defeating Cote d'Ivoire 2-1 in a match that we saw, the two, teams struggling and also representing themselves very well.
2 things, Abdullah. Number one, okay, let me say 3 things now. Number one, congratulations to the boys and their coach, the technical crew, by extension. But they started late, which is number 2. They started very late. We saw the appointment of Ladan Boso. It came very late, just like a month before that. No real grounds to prepare. And secondly, many people did not believe in the technical ability of the coach. So most journalists were saying, they didn't really expect anything from this man. But whether you like it or not, they've gone there. They've tried to, get the job done, which is for you to pick the ticket to the under-20 AFCON. From there, we can now pick another ticket to the World Cup. So I think, their number 1 assignment, they've done it. So it would, you might say maybe they didn't win so convincingly, not that the way we've always been having our under-20 team to win 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. But, just the way you always say, any win, I win. So it's beautiful, and they've been urged to go ahead and win the under-20, Wafu B under-20 tournament, and we cannot wait to see that. We saw what they did against Burkina Faso, in the group stage. So let's see what's going to come out of that this time around. Maybe they will be able to beat them, because whether you like it or not, the team is gradually coming up. So let's see what's going to happen in the final. But if they don't win, no problem. We've qualified for the under-20 AFCON. And at the end of the day, one day we're still going to come back and think about it. Why are we having regional qualifiers for under-20 AFCON for age grade competitions? In West Africa, most of our teams are very strong. But at the end of the day, Ghana will not be part of it in some competitions. Cote d'Ivoire will not be part of it. Nigeria will not be part of it, and all that. You're dropping your strong teams and fielding the weaker ones. I
think it's one issue that we'll leave it for another day. But I think now the last hurdle, as far as the Wafu B is concerned, I think they're facing Benin Republic in the finals on Saturday.
Should be Burkina Faso, I think.
Okay. Well, if we get that correct, I think our boys have done very well, and the representation has not been so badly, considering all odds or against all odds, getting to where they are today. And we believe Ladan Boso knows the right legs to use, and also the boys are very, very hungry with the game. So I think we'll be expecting nothing less than probably the trophy or whatever the first position. And like you say, we've qualified already, hoping that we'll go do well in Egypt next year. Now, quickly, let's also look at the issue of the NFF putting to rest the issue of appointing a substantive coach for the Super Eagles. Yes, The argument out there, I don't want us to go into it so much because of our time, is the issue of is qualified, is not qualified. But as we speak, we have a substantive coach appointed by the NFF.
Yeah, just to say that we should not go, into that. I've been able to interview about 10 people concerning, the appointment of the new gaffer for the Super Eagles. More than, let me not say 10 this time around, 9 people disagreed, saying it shouldn't be that as at this moment. Number one, we know the type of coach that Ghana hired. Egypt, they're attracting the best in the world. So many teams are attracting the best in the world in Africa. But how come Nigeria, we are now settling for a coach that, really battled to help even teams that were dominating their continents or their regions. And after he took over, he kind of brought them down. But, for you to know the type of coaches that really applied for the Super Eagles job, if you get the list of the coaches, you'll be surprised. But I spoke with the General Secretary of the Nigeria Football Federation on Monday, that's Mohamed Sanusi, and he said, given the conditions that they brought forward, it was the one that fit into it, that fits into it, adequately, perfectly, because it's going to stay in Nigeria. It's going to go around to see all those matches in the Nigeria Professional Football League, be in charge of so many things. So we have a new coach, Abdullahi. Only time will tell. Let's see. But many said it's just a glorified Genotro.
Well, Badi Adele, in as much as I always want to be, in the middle, particularly when we begin to doubt the, capability and abilities of, people or individuals. Well, as at the last time, probably his last record is what I think most people are using to judge the man. We wouldn't know if he has improved in his technical and tactical, prowess. So I think let's give him the benefit of that. And more so, the argument before his appointment has always been, no, we need a foreign coach. We don't need a foreign coach. That has always been the argument. Now you give a foreign coach, and some of the people are coming to say, no, it should have been one local coach or the other. So I think if we
has like
continue,
4 people to assist him. Finidi George is there. Salisu Yusuf is there. We have Ikesho Romo as the goalkeeper trainer. We have a match analyst. 5 Nigerians will be assisting him. And the NFF, they said, is still going to come with some guys. So let's see how that pans out.
So hopefully, I think he will succeed. But Nigerians are always
they are still angry. Do not forget.
No, I think we are beginning to put behind, such the issue of the World Cup qualification, and with our other age grade, teams, doing well. I think we'll be able to take care of that. Now, quickly, Badi, I think since we're talking football, yesterday we saw Seville very red hot, but unfortunately, I think most of us, our hearts went for Rangers, where our own Joe Aribo, turned out to be like a star player in that team and got the, only goal for his team. At the end of the day, unfortunately, it was a penalty shootout, which it was like a game of any side.
It was very much unfortunate. Well, like just before that time, I put sentiments, aside. I put emotions aside. I told them that, see, Frankfurt is not a team to meet in the Europa League. They're a different beast when it comes to the Europa League. Go recall what they did against Barcelona. Barcelona, they were on a very smooth run until they met Frankfurt. That was where their problem started. This team, they've been very outstanding, and even when Rangers were 1-0 up, I was still scared. I was just watching that maybe something really happened. So when it was 1-1, I stopped watching actually, because I knew it was going to be very difficult for Rangers to go ahead, and they really tried. You must give it to them. Penalty is always a game of luck, and especially you meet the players who are more prepared and all of that. You see the followership, see the way Frankfurt fans received.
Yes.
About 50,000 fans in their stadium watching back home. That tells you, many people are saying it's either UEFA Champions League or nothing. I think Arsenal fans should look at Frankfurt, what they did. Arsenal can go for the Europa League.
No, we're not talking Arsenal for now. We'll get to Arsenal. But I think on a more serious note, the Frankfurt team, I think, and their fans as something else. Even before the match, pre-match analysis, put it that their fans could make you, if you're not well prepared, I think their fan base is another thing that could distract their opponent. And I think, Rangers too came prepared, but unfortunately, we saw so much of a tearful moment for, Rangers, and they just have to take faith and probably come to fight some other
they thought
day.
they were going to get it. Well, I just really feel bad for those Nigerians, Leon Balogun, Basi, and Aribo.
Okay, now let's see if the short interview clip of the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development is ready. One of the interviews I think Buddy had with him talking about Nigeria's withdrawal from international basketball tournament for 2 years. If it's ready, let's take it before we come back to that.
The decision of the federal government is not a knee-jerk decision. It was based on the reality and the fact of the situation. Twice we invited FIBA to come and step in. FIBA did not come. FIBA insisted we must conduct the elections. Well, if we thought the conduct of the elections alone will end the crisis, it never did, because we ended up with two factions.
While promising to use the period of the withdrawal.
All right, that's a short clip there. The Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development giving us reasons why the government, had to take that, hard decision to withdraw the basketball teams from major competitions. Well, we've also got views across, people supporting and also others against such a decision. But I think it's one lesson. One of the lessons, if we must learn from such, is that we must be able to be patriotic and be able to allow certain decisions be taken, not our individual own interest to override, collective interest. I think that is one lesson those stakeholders must learn, and for us to be able to move our basketball forward. But you did that interview. What's your take on this decision?
Abdullah, it's been 5 years of to and fro, back and forth with basketball. No development, no league. It's been really, really bad. At some point, we had 2 factions. It degenerated to 3 factions. It's getting worse. The minister said they had to write to FIBA. If you cannot meet us, let's meet you. We just want you to tell us this is what to do. FIBA said do not interfere. Let them just do their election thing and blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, when they did the election, it got worse. They had, 2 presidents again. And the players started writing to the ministry and that, saying all these competitions that we've qualified for, we're not going to play if this man is not removed. And others are saying qualifiers that we're going for, we're not going to come out if this person is not removed. And of course, I think on the part of the ministry, they are tired, and they had to say, come on, we cannot, go ahead with this. You people, just let's take it from you. When there's no basketball, when there's nothing, let's see if you're going to continue to fight. For me, I think what the sports ministry, what they've just done, on the permissions of the federal government, is just very simple. If you say this is not about personal sentiments, if you mean that you really value basketball in Nigeria, so far they say they don't want you. You volunteered to, serve, but you're being told that you're not wanted. If you love basketball, you say, instead of you withdrawing basketball from international competitions, let me leave. Because I do not understand why we're not going to enjoy basketball just because of one man or one woman or a board or a faction. You understand? So I do not understand this. So me, I think the ministry, they know that if these guys do not leave office, they're just going to reform basketball after 2 years. Let's see if they're ready. But there's a window that the ministry has opened. If you guys are ready to back off and solve basketball in Nigeria, then we can go and meet the president and say, these 2 people that are fighting, or these 3 people that are fighting, they've said they are now ready to, come as one. So let's present our teams again and go beat FIBA and, settle anything that we need to settle. But Abdullahi, this is actually bad.
Okay, now one worrying thing is we have over 20 sports federations, if I'm not mistaken, buddy. But why is it basketball, like you said, for over a period of how many years it has been, infighting, disagreement over who is the leader, holding, separate elections, polarizing the stakeholders, and also distracting the teams. Can't they learn their lesson? We have Nigerian Volleyball Federation, we have Handball Federation, we have Tennis Federation. Mention them. And today, those people have commenced their developmental programs and also competitions to be able to, get 8th grade players that, will represent the country. Why basketball? What is so special? What is so, what is the bone of contention, if I may ask?
When you get to hear the deals coming in, the Puma deal, the Adidas deal, anyone that's going to come, the money that has been dropped for the sponsorship of the basketball league, running into millions, deals running into billions, and so many things, the amount that has been released, when you're going for a competition and all that, the amount, the monies that have not been accounted for and all that. Part of this, 2-year, this period, this window, they also want to use it to balance their books. There's a lot of corruption when it comes to the Nigeria Basketball Federation that, they really feel they have to investigate. So Abdullahi, if you're going to tell me, if you're going to ask, that was the problem. The problem, the bone of contention here, what everyone is running for here is the money. There's a lot of money when we talk basketball. I think that after football, you can say basketball. Because it's even better now that a lot of Nigerians, they are supporting basketball. When we get disappointed by the Super Eagles, we want to turn to the Tigers or the Tigress, which is beautiful. So Abdullahi, money is involved. I don't think it's just because somebody wants to say, I'm the president of basketball. Because if you need to be president of any federation, I don't think, if you go to, there are so many federations that you can go to. But Abdullahi, we've discussed this with a panel for over 2 hours. And, people were for the ministry, people were against the ministry. By the end of the day, what we could agree on, just one thing. When there's a loophole, you will always misbehave. We need the legislation, to say you cannot do this. You cannot, if you produce 2 factions, maybe if you cannot settle it within a month, you forget about or 2 of you will forget about it. Because the ministry, even when they decided to just say, okay, since you people are fighting, let's quickly conduct the league and everything. Some of these people wrote to FIBA, and now the club, the club championship in Africa is ongoing, and no Nigerian team is participating because some people have written a petition against the Nigerian government.
All right. Well, let's hope that they put their house in order and rejig and also go back to the drawing board, possibly, one faction sacrificing in the best interest of the country and all the stakeholders, particularly the players whose future is at stake as we speak. Well, quickly, buddy, I think time is beginning to give us signal. I think the network has not been cooperating, but let's also let you know that, well, in the remainder of time we have, you can probably call in to also be a part of the discussion. But quickly, buddy, the Etta Caro winning the West African Scrabble Championship. I think this is one area that we've not been doing badly if you follow trend and also development as far as Scrabble is concerned.
We're doing so well when it comes to Scrabble. The former world champion, Jigere Wellington, is in the ranks of Nigeria. When they were going for the competition, I spoke with the president of the Nigeria Scrabble Federation, Tokiaka, and he was very much confident. And he called it an overkill. Because when you are going for a competition and out of the top 10, you have the top 8 in your ranks. So I never expected anything short of that.
It was a walkover.
So like when it comes to Scrabble, we just need more attention, more money. And Scrabble is what you can even do online. You don't have to necessarily travel to the place where you want to go compete. You can do, that came out during the lockdown. So now you can do Scrabble online. So we need to encourage it, and it's good for the kids. We can start it from the school.
I think we have one caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Quickly, please, your name. Hello, can you move away from your TV set quickly? We don't have time. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please. This is Capital Sport. What do you have to tell us?
About the coach.
Yes.
The new coach.
Yes.
Yes. You know, a lot of people have said that the coach is not a first-rated coach because the kind of countries he has coached, more or less, are not countries
Yes.
that have done so well in football.
Yes. Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
You don't see him having a track record of coaching in
Okay.
nation team.
Yes.
So I don't know, what impact do you think that will have in our country?
All right. Thank you very much. Even though you didn't tell us your name. All right. All right, Buddy, quickly, I think she seems to...
You know, there's an opportunity for him to, you know, actually shock us.
Yes.
You know, at times, when you're underrated, you can come and show what you can do. Actually, it doesn't mean, you know, it doesn't have to be like you're a big name and all that. But only time will tell. It's good that he has a, you know, a good ground to start. We're starting the qualifiers for Nations Cup. And from his first game, we can tell. And my bad, Nigeria actually, the under-20 team, I recollect very well, we're playing the junior scorers of Benin Republic.
Benin Republic, yes.
They are neighbors, and so we're going to get, we expect the under-20 team to, you know, get it done over them and win the trophy for the first time.
All right, thank you, Buddy Adeleye. We are very, very much pleased with your inputs, particularly giving us more insights and also depth into some of these issues we hear in publicly as far as the sports community is concerned. Well, Capital Sports will always be there for you, but we're able to just get one caller on the line, but hopefully next week, same time, same station, we'll be able to accommodate more calls to be part of the discussion, particularly finding solution to some of those gray areas in some of our football federations. I want to thank you very much for coming on Capital Sports as I remain Abdullah Hejia, the striker on the driving seats of the program.